Hello, everybody. Can you hear me? Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me put some. Okay. Yes, you can. Sorry, that was my phone. What's going on, everyone? Yes, like the video. How about now? Can you guys still hear me? I keep having to. Is it better? God, please. Okay. I think it should be good now. I got a phone call. That's why I just had to put my stuff on Do Not Disturb. I'm on my iPad. So that's why the audio disconnected. But hey, everybody, what's going on? What's new under the sun? Yes, pretty practical. It's been a very long time. That's because I don't have a streaming mic, as you can see, or as you can hear. I'm on my AirPods. This is just what I got going on right now. But I am going to get that streaming microphone soon. Okay. Okay. Yeah, the audio is great. Perfect. But it's been so long. I haven't streamed. I miss streaming so much. I don't know why I just felt like streaming today. I've been feeling like streaming for the past couple of weeks, but I just had to like just get on here and stream. So I'm on here because I ran into some content that I want to talk about. I was gonna just make a video, but I was like, you know what? Why not stream? So that's why I'm here. As you can see, the title of the live is Where Are the Wives? And I'm going to get into that in a second. But since it's been a while since I've streamed and come on here to talk to you guys, I just want to give some updates. Because for those of you that have been subscribed to me for a really long time, or just since the beginning, uh, like the channel has grown a lot. There's over 10,000 subscribers on this channel now. So hello to everybody that is new. I did not expect to ever log on here and see this many people subscribed. If you're new, you probably subscribed from the Black Wife Effect video that I uploaded, or TikTok, because once I uploaded that TikTok, I had no idea it was literally going to go viral and have like over 1 million views. It was just a random like TikTok that I upload like I do with everything else, but it just so happened to go viral. So, welcome to everybody that's here. I just want to make a few things clear about this channel. This channel is for Black women. Okay, so let's start there. This is a pro Black women channel. For those that have been in the YouTube space, then you probably would categorize this channel as a BWE channel, and you are correct. This is a BWE channel. I know there has been drama in the BWE sector on YouTube. There's been a lot of other Black female, Black women content creators who have decided to leave BWE and just focus on doing whatever they want. I, however, am not one of them. I am a Black woman content creator. I create content for Black women to better ourselves in terms of our femininity, our womanhood, down to our look, our attitude, our endeavors, any and everything. This channel is also for Black women who are on the traditional side of things, you know, a little bit more old fashioned. You believe in family, you believe in working hard, you believe in taking care of yourself and also assisting in taking care of your loved ones, right? So if you're a Black woman who believes and can align with that, or you agree with it, then I do think you will really like the content I put on this channel. I do have a lot of content on interracial dating for Black women. This seems to be the content on my channel that is the most popular, even though I do have some femininity content. The content about women dating, or Black women dating interracially, goes viral and is the most popular, which is why the Black Wife Effect video that I uploaded just blew up. So this is a channel where I tell Black women, or I don't even want to say tell, but encourage Black women to open up their options in terms of dating. Personally, I date all men. I date all races of men. I technically always have. I've never needed to go through some kind of awakening, but I understand that there are Black women today who are going through that. Every time I log on to my TikTok and other platforms, I'm always seeing videos of young Black women who've never been married, have no children, who, in my opinion, are very attractive young Black women, getting on the internet to say that they're done dating Black men, that they're ready to open up their options, that these Black women don't believe that they will become a wife or a mother and have children in a marriage if they continue to only date Black men. So I see that every single time I log on the internet, on Instagram, on TikTok, even here on YouTube. And there are just a number of Black women every day who are deciding to make changes in their dating life. So I do have content on my channel where I encourage Black women to date interracially. I don't see anything wrong with it. But at the end of the day, I want to be clear. This is not a divestment channel. I don't talk about that here. I do have some videos, like a very small amount of videos about divesting, but this is not a divestment channel. Like my entire channel is not centered on that. I do have content for that. So I want to be clear. This is not a divestment channel. This is more of, when it comes to dating, this is more of a best man for the job channel. So I encourage Black women to continue to date whoever you want, but be more open with your dating standards. Date all groups of men. If you have always been dating Black men, I'm not going to tell you to completely stop, but I am going to tell you to date other groups of men from different cultures. These can be men from different countries. These can be still Black men, but they're from a different country. Whatever the case is, white, Asian, whatever, date whoever you want. This is not a channel where I'm going to tell you who you can and cannot date. There's a lot of Black women channels where they're telling Black women who to date, how to act, where to go, and all these things. I'm not going to do that. Most of the women that watch my channel are between according to my analytics, are between the ages of like 25 to 44. So in general, we're all grown women. I'm no one's mom, so I'm not going to tell you what to do. Date whoever you want. But this is a channel for Black women when it comes to dating. They believe in a traditional style of dating. You believe that the man should be the provider, the leader of the house, and as the woman, you are the nurturer, the caretaker, the receiver, and you support your husband and or your man, and you nurture your children. So this is a channel where women who believe that, you know, I talk more about those type of values here because those are also my values. And personally, I have had no issues in my dating life finding men that meet my values and finding men of a certain like status that can afford to be a provider in a household. I personally haven't had any issues with that. So I just want to be clear on what this channel is, because I've had an influx of new subscribers and it's been great reading all the comments. I think that we can get into the comments that I've been seeing on this channel another day. Um, yeah, because they've been something else, I'll tell you. But I'm glad that you all are here. Hey Bula, I'm 50 years old and I'm here very traditional. That's what I'm talking about. Like nothing wrong with the traditional way. I'm a traditional black woman. That's just what I believe in. Now, not everything can be traditional. We are living in a modern time where economically, not all of us can just live off of a husband we don't have, right? Like, even as traditional minded women, we still have to navigate society working and paying our bills and things like that. So, that is still a reality. But mindset wise, I'm still very traditional. I still have those beliefs. I still believe in the traditional family structure. I get it. It's not for everyone. This is no shame or no shade to people who believe differently. But I'm not one of them, and I'm glad that I have a space for traditional minded black women. But at the end of the day, this is a BWE channel. So if you are a black woman and you believe a certain route you need to go on in your life to succeed in love, career, success, family, whatever that is, I'm a proponent for you achieving that and wishing you the best. So I want to be clear on that. Um, I also want to be clear that, yes, on my channel, I have a lot of critiques, particularly for men in the manosphere and, red pill content, because this is a pro black woman channel. And I do tackle some of the lies and the disingenuous statements made by disgruntled, bitter, incel men online, because I actually have a lot of women that message me and comment about how they're seeing these things that men are saying online, and a lot of these men, believe it or not, a lot of these men aren't quote unquote broke. A lot of these men do well for themselves and have things going on, and they have these really horrible perspectives on women, especially black women. And I get it. The media is can take over what's the reality, particularly for black women. And it's sad, which is why we need more platforms like mine or other black women platforms that I can list off that I watch. We need more things like that to kind of push and reject the narratives that not every black woman is like a sexy red or like a young Miami, or and that's no shade to those women, but there are black women who are traditional, who want families, who are not participating in adult entertainment. I can't say the word on YouTube. There are normal, everyday black women who are just trying to survive, make the best of their time and of their life, and have a goal to have a family and be involved in their community. Period. And these women exist. Every time I get online and hear these men talk, they literally act like these women don't exist. They literally reject and invalidate these black women. It's like they want to think that black women are ghetto, loud, fat, we're all single moms. That's just not the case. That's just not the case. I've shown on my channel real statistics that will tell you that most black women who are young, particularly Gen Z, especially, because those are the new black women, growing up. Those are the future of black women, is Gen Z black women. Most of those women are not single mothers at that age. Most of those women are also not severely obese. Most of young black women are also educated. I've also posted statistics on my channel that will tell you, according to the National Association of Realtors women in general are the fastest growing group of single people to own homes. So all of these negative things that men are putting out about black women and women in general online, that we're all just, you know, adult entertainment workers, only fans and all this stuff, and that there's barely any normal women left. That's just absolutely not the case. And the reason why these men believe that is because they're too busy looking at adult entertainment stuff online. They're too busy paying attention to women online that are half naked, barely dressed. They're too busy looking at those women. So they're ignoring the women who are the opposite. They're ignoring the women who um, would make good wives and good partners and have their head on straight for women who are a little bit more, just different. I don't want to, I don't want to say any words that are going to shade and shame anybody for what they choose to do. But I'm just saying that there is a difference in where men are putting their attention to. And then they're making it seem like women over here that are on OnlyFans are just the only women out there. And that's just not the case. So my channel is to showcase women being different, aka normal, in a world where girls who have an OnlyFans are just getting all of the platform, they're getting all of the attention, to the point where men are saying there's no hope and there's no wives, and that's just not true. There's women who are suitable to be wives everywhere, right? And then you have those type of guys, right? Their attention is on women who are on OnlyFans. And then you have the other half of men who just have unrealistic expectations of women in general and shoot themselves in the foot, get in their own way when it comes to choosing and being with a woman. You're here in the daytime. I am. I'm on the West Coast. It's like only 11:37 here. So I'm just chilling. I just wanted to go live. I'm not going to be on here very long, but I just wanted to show you guys some things and talk to you guys about some stuff. But I'm here in the daytime. Um, I do think I should have my lives a little bit later on in the day, but for now, I think this is good. But yeah, you have men that have unrealistic expectations of women. And I blame this on the fact that they haven't had many relationships themselves. I also blame it on they didn't come from a home where there was love being shown. They didn't have an example of what it looks like for a man to be in a relationship. And it's just unfortunate. And that's why they grow up with this idea of a woman in their head that just does not exist. It does not exist. And there's just a lot of guys who are going to be, who claim they want a wife and claim they want a family, but they are going to live their lives alone, constantly thinking that it's women who are doing this and doing that, and the women are this and that. And that's just not true. Um, the guys, those types of guys, are only interested in the woman that is in their head. They're not interested in women in real life. So, you have those types of men too. And I have literally sat down and talked to those kinds of men who have been perpetually single. And I asked them why. And they want like a wife, they want children. And I asked them, well, why haven't you found that? You have everything together, you have all your ducks in a row. What is going on? And they list off all these crazy things that they need. And I'm just like, huh? A part of me also looks at them like, no shade, but who do you think you are? Like, you're not, okay, like, you're not this guy that is like Obama or a mayor of the city or something. Like, you're not this known top tier guy that needs this woman by your side. Like, you're just a normal man who goes to work, handles his finances well. You go to the gym, you eat regular food. Like, you're not as special as you think you are. And this is no shade, but it's just a lot of men need a reality check. They have a woman in their head that they really want to be real, and that's all they're going to go for. And instead of actually paying attention to who a woman really is and believing her and accepting that, they reject that for the woman they have in their head. And that's the real reason why they've been single. That's the real reason why they can't find a woman to connect with. Because there's a lot of men that claim they want a wife that could have had one a long time ago. But they're out here playing games. They're actually probably have they actually probably have a fear of intimacy. They probably just have in general like a fear of getting divorced or a fear of it not working out. So they're placing all of these expectations on the list and all these qualities on the list that have to be there to essentially create the perfect woman to avoid any negative outcomes. But that's just not how life works. Any person you get with, any situation you get involved with, you run the risk of it not working out. It just doesn't matter. So you just have to be willing to take a risk in life, especially when it comes to relationships. And you have to just take things day by day, listen and pay attention and be present, and do that every day. And if you do that, you have a higher chance of it working out than you do of it failing, right? But things happen in life. Things are going to happen to you in life, even if you don't get married. Even if you just say, I don't care to date, I don't care to do any of that, that's fine. But you're still not going to be exempt from something unexpected and heartbreaking happening in your life. You know, nobody's above reproach when it comes to experiencing a negative outcome. So those types of guys, they're just unrealistic. They want perfection. They're never going to find it. And they're going to be upset when they reach the age of 40, 45, never married, never having kids, still kind of stuck in this mindset of like, you know, um, that they still have the capacity to have the best. And I've been meeting a lot of guys like that think that the best is yet to come when they're damn near a senior citizen. And I'm just like, okay, okay. It's because they're listening to these videos, these high value man videos that talk about when a man gets older, it gets better. And I'm trying to figure out where that's happening because with older single men, they're the least likely to ever get married. They're they're the least likely to even stay alive. So that I mean that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But let's just get into what I wanted to show you guys. It's really not a video that's about much of anything. It's just like a video that I found on Instagram, and the guy in the video just he's just reading something on the screen. He doesn't offer any commentary. So I'm just going to show you guys this video, and really we're going to talk about the comments that are underneath the video. So let me know if, okay, let me just play it.
Can someone explain what's going wrong in the universe that all the wifey material girls I know are super single? Can someone explain what's going wrong in the universe that all the wifey material girls I know are super single? Can someone explain what's going wrong in the universe that all the wifey material girls I know are super single?
Okay, so I wanted to let that play for a couple of times. I came across the video on YouTube. I'm sorry, not YouTube, Instagram. And when I looked at the comments, it was pretty interesting. It was all from women, basically. Um, Hold on, let me also real. So it's just a tweet that the guy found. Can someone explain what's going wrong in the universe that all the wife material girls I know are super single? So before I get into the comments, let me just say my thoughts on this. I mean, I kind of low key kind of tackled it earlier when I was just talking about the two things that I'm seeing in men today that's keeping them from finding, or at least, I don't even want to say finding, noticing normal women in society who would make great wives and great partners. That first reason is these men are paying too much attention to women who are online, half naked, working in adult entertainment, watching videos like that, watching OnlyFans, and then they claim that, oh, well, these are all the girls that's out here, you know. And then number two is that you have men that aren't into that stuff, but yet are still delusional because they have the idea of a perfect woman in his head that does not exist in real life. And so he's looking for a woman that is like his twin. He's looking for a woman that is just made up, that he just made her up. And another thing with those types of guys is that a lot of them want a woman, but they don't really like how women are in general. Like they don't really like female nature. They want you to have, they like your look, they like sleeping with you, but they want you to have a man's thought process. You know, they want to question everything you do. Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? Why are you like this? Why are you like that? And it's just like, you, you being a woman is damn near annoying in their eyes, or doesn't make any sense. I was reading a comment on one video a couple weeks ago, and this guy said he had a long term relationship with his now ex girlfriend that was like 4 years long. And in the relationship, he admitted that he kept trying to tell her what she needs to do, and kept trying to get her to be better, and always criticizing her and correcting her. And so he ended up dumping her because she wasn't meeting this standard. He was trying to build her up to be this certain type of woman that he wants. She was not meeting that. And so he ended up dumping her after like 4 years. And he really thought he made the right decision, and he hadn't been in a relationship since. And all the comments were like, you're telling him that he was stupid, because why are you trying to change a grown adult woman? Why are you trying to criticize her? Why are you trying to basically reparent her to be the woman that you want in your head, or to be the type of woman that you think makes better sense than who she is? There's a lot of guys like that, who they come into a woman's life, or they invite a woman really into their life, but then want to completely like undress her and make her something else. Like she's some kind of doll or some kind of object. And none of that is genuine. Like I'm very much so traditional when it comes to relationships. I believe the man should lead, but I believe that's going to be done best with a woman that the man actually likes, to the point where he doesn't need to change her. He doesn't need to tell her how to dress. He doesn't need to tell her how to act and how to be. If a man has to do that, he doesn't really like her. He likes the idea of her, and he's more so in love with the woman he has in his head. And he's trying to get the woman that he's around in real life to match that, and that's just not realistic. So you have a lot of men like that, and that type of thought process is what's getting in the way of them actually acknowledging wifey material women. Now, in some of these comments, I did screenshot some of the comments. One girl said, "Men don't appreciate those women. We would rather be single and happy than in a relationship and be disrespected all the time." Now, this is, I can relate to this because I've definitely been around men where um, I'm peaceful on my own. Then he gets around, and it's like, dang, all of a sudden I can't do anything right. All of a sudden, um, this and that is wrong with me. Just like the example I was just telling you guys about with the guy and his girlfriend. Obviously, in his comment where he openly admitted he was criticizing her a lot to get her to do better, that means he was also disrespecting her and who she is as a person. And that's exhausting to be around, and no woman in her right mind is going to want to commit to that for an entire lifetime. Have babies and everything, cook, clean, and all of that is already going to be a lot for a woman to be thinking about and doing. And then on top of that, to deal with her husband always going in on her about anything is exhausting. It's mentally like debilitating. And no one is going to want to deal with that. Men for sure don't. Men for sure talk about how they want a woman who is peaceful, not always nagging them. But I don't think it is acknowledged how many men also nag. There's a lot of men who nag and think it's a part of being a man, and think it's a part of being a leader in a relationship, when really he's just nagging you to death. Like he's just constantly talking and being crazy. And it's not fun. Oh, wait, and then the next comment says, because the next generation of males all want princess treatment, because single men aren't interested in women with standards. They want easy women. The last comment, being raised to be a wife in a generation of men who don't even want girlfriends will have you staying super single. I do relate to a lot of these comments, or I would say more so understand a lot of these comments. This is a sign that women are checking out of marriage. In the video I uploaded months ago, probably a year ago at this point, I put in that video that if you're a traditional woman, you're actually considered rare because thousands, millions of young women nationwide are not trying to get married. They don't care for it. I have a lot of girlfriends that are engaged and have literally told me they're okay with being engaged. They're in long term relationships and they're not pressuring the man to propose because essentially they're in no rush to have to enter into situations that are going to be much more stressful, that could be avoided. Now, they still love the man, they still want the man around, they still respect him, but they're not signing up to join in traditional marriage. Because for a lot of men, the reality is there's not a lot of traditional husbands. There's not a lot of husbands or men in general who are ready to be with a woman and understand her, have patience, extend grace, be, you know, be protective. There's more so men who just want an idea of a woman. And it's unfortunate, but I do blame it on social media. I do blame it on men just looking at women from a distance instead of actually spending time with one in real life, which is why they try to and it damn near can't work out. He's talking crazy to her, disrespecting her all the time because he's not used to being around a real woman consistently throughout his life. As a fully grown man, by the way, I'm not talking about little boys, okay? I'm not talking about boys who are like 18. I'm talking about grown men over the age of 30. Those are the men that I deal with, um, that are single. Um, this is what I see is the issue with them. And they claim they want a wife, they claim they want a family. And it's just like, no, you do not. You want the idea of one. You probably, a lot of these men also probably want the respect that comes to a man who is a husband and who does have a family, right? In society, men who are married are seen differently than men who are single. Okay, men who are married, look, they're not seen the same. They're not seen the same as single guys. So that's just a fact. That's just a fact. And a lot of the guys just want that piece of it, but they don't want to really deal with a wife every day. They don't want to really deal with children every day. They want to stay single. They want to stay in bachelor life. They're not really ready for the family man life. And let me actually kind of clarify what I mean by ready or what I don't mean. I don't know. But maybe I shouldn't even have said ready. But at the end of the day, there's no real such thing as being ready. Um, we're not really ready for anything in life. We're not ready to start our new jobs. We're probably not ready to own a house, but we do it anyway. But what I mean is we at least have the skills and the knowledge to handle those things. And a lot of men, when I say they're not ready, I mean that they don't have the social skills, the emotional capabilities to be able to deal with having a family. A lot of men just don't. A lot of men have the emotional capacity to deal with just themselves. And I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm not saying that's a problem, right? It's not a problem to be single, let's be clear. If you know you're better off by yourself, you are actually going to do. Can you guys ever hear? Because I got a call. And every time I get a call, it disrupts. Okay. I think you guys can wait. Should be able to hear me better now. Right? Okay. Um, what was I saying before? I don't remember. But yes, okay, good. Yeah, you can hear me. No one wants everything they say and do to be criticized. Men are nags too. Exactly. Men can be huge nags. Men can be huge nags. And if a man is nagging you so early, it is a sign that he may not be ready to have a woman around him on a consistent basis. And to be honest, this is something that can apply to women as well. I mean, already women are stamped as the naggers of the world, but a sign that maybe a woman is not ready to have a man in her life can look very similar, right? She's also criticizing everything that he's doing. And this comes with being single for a long time as a man or a woman. If you're used to being by yourself every single day, majority of the day, you have been that way for years, and you finally meet someone that you do like, right? You do like them, you don't want them to go away, but you also need to learn how to coexist with them. But what I will say is that men and women are different. It's easier for women to kind of assimilate to certain situations in society. We're not seen as the dominant, you know, aggressive beings. We tend to figure out what we need to do to survive. Men, on the other hand, it's a little harder for men to quote unquote sit still. Like, think about the school system. Little boys in school, it's harder for them to sit still, it's harder for them to listen during class. Girls, not so much. So, men and women are different. This is the same thing I say for black women who come from single mother homes. When it comes to those women being married someday, a lot of people that say, oh, black women don't know how to be wives because they didn't see their mother as a wife. But it's just not the same for black men and black women. If a black woman meets a man who knows how to lead and knows how to be a husband, it's going to be very easy for her to get under to get under his leadership and to become a good wife. She's obviously going to have to learn some things, but it's not going to be difficult. Now, for a black man who comes from a single mother home, trying to become a husband, it's going to be difficult for him because he needs to see an example of a leader before he can lead his own. It's not the same. Otherwise, he is going to be kind of leaning, relying, and looking a lot at the woman, at what she's doing, as a reflection of how he's going to navigate as a husband. And that's just not how it works. Men who are leaders lead regardless. It's either going to get on track or not. And black men who don't have that example, they want to, put a lot of pressure on the woman to act a certain way. And this is why we hear a lot of black men online that blame the failure of the black family on black women and seldom bring up anything that they did as men in a marriage to as the reason to why it didn't work out. This is why we hear that, because a lot of those men, they didn't have fathers in their life to instill discipline, accountability, and true leadership skills. So they look at the woman and what you're doing, and they will use that as the reason to why things don't work. So men and women are different in how we can learn things. Women are better learners simply just off of who we are and our behaviors than men. Men's position naturally is to lead. And so men are created to be followers the way that women can be if we want to be. Um, it just is what it is, right? So all the women in these comments answering the question as to, why are there so many women who are wifey material and still single, despite there being men who claim they want wifey material types of women? Their comments and their answers are pretty valid. They are pretty valid. Amy Andrews, they are not marriage ready. Even when they marry their prize Becky, they still F up. Statistics do dictate that when black men particularly marry out, the marriage rates, or the divorce rates are even worse compared to when a black man marries a black woman. They're even worse. And this is all due, again, to a lot of them not having an example of what a husband is and what a leader is in the home. And because of this, A lot of women are opting out of marriage, and these are women who are not black, by the way. These are women of other groups. These are women that a lot of black men tend to put on a pedestal above black women, and these women are coming out and saying that they're good. They don't care to get married ever, and there's no type of shaming tactic, no type of loneliness epidemic you can talk to them about to make them want marriage, because um, a lot of men don't know how to be partners. I'm sorry, like in more so in union with a woman. It just is what it is. Another set of comments: the pandemic kept us inside, and once we realized how wonderful that peace was, it was over. I got tired. Okay, well, before I go to the next comment, that literally is what I was just saying earlier. Like, once you spend time on your own being peaceful, it is really hard to include somebody in that. And then on top of that, someone who is being difficult, someone who, yes, is going to nag you, always ready to disrespect you, ready to make you feel some type of way for no real reason. You're technically not doing anything wrong. You're just doing something that that person doesn't like. Brings me back to what I was telling you guys about the guy who commented on a video and said he dumped his girlfriend of 4 years because she wasn't living up to the standard in his head of a high value woman. And it was things like he was trying to tell her, from what I can remember, things about her just having a better career, even though the career she had was fine. Just all these things that nothing was wrong with her. It's just that he wanted her to be a certain way for his pleasure and for his benefit. And that is an example of a man who, number one, doesn't even like the woman he's with, literally, which is why um, he's trying to fix her so goddamn much, because he doesn't even like her. That's number one. Um, Number two, he was criticizing and nagging her all the time, and then had the audacity to dump her. But good thing he did, and I'm really sorry for her. It should have been the other way around. She should have left him. It would have been much better if she would have realized her worth and realized that she does not deserve a guy who's going to tell her time and time again that she's just not good enough. Okay, I don't know who you are, but anyway, had to get rid of a troll in the chat. Okay, I got tired of putting a man first, so I bought a house and went back to college. Don't waste your time on men in general. I did it, and it's my biggest regret. I want a partner, not a liability. Men want wives, but they refuse to elevate to husband status because all the married men are giving us reasons why we shouldn't get married. Like this last comment here is also what's really sad. Unfortunately, there are a lot of married men who are extremely desperate for other women besides their wife, who are totally okay with paying not as much attention to their children, clearly, which is something that kind of needs to happen in order for them to even have the energy to go out and find other women. They have to be lacking in their attention at home, somewhere else. Why would they refuse? Sorry, guys, I'm just plugging in. They don't like the woman they're with, but they're not qualified for the woman they want. Yeah, I agree. That is what a man who is a nagger does. He's getting what he can, but he's not getting what he wants. And so he wants to change. He wants to change the woman that he's with. He wants to change the woman that he's with. Um, but little does he know that that is going to ruin the relationship. And men like that, they're not going to end up with anybody. If you meet a guy and he just, for the life of him, can't just accept you for who you are. Sorry, guys, I'm actually trying to fight off a really weird troll. But if you meet a guy and he's constantly nagging you and telling you everything about yourself, he doesn't really like you. That is just is the truth. Now you do have men who are just emotionally immature and they're grown, right? But they'll act like the little boy on the playground that would pick on you because he likes you. That's emotional immaturity as well. So you do have guys that do that. You have guys that do like you, but they just cannot express it due to their ego, due to their pride, and due to just their emotional immaturity. There are a lot of men who are very smart, logically, but emotionally, they just can't handle their own emotions. So you have men like that. I also would obviously suggest not to stay with guys like that either, because if you're wanting something serious, they're obviously not ready. If they always got to clown and make jokes on you all the time as a form or as a way to connect with you. The black wife effect is real and work on all men we date. Yeah, I will come back on to talk about that, to talk about the black wife effect and the video that I uploaded that went that is viral. 1.6 million views right now on my channel. Um, I'll come back on to talk about that. It's a very real thing, and it's just more so a testimony to what happens when a man actually loves his wife, listens to his wife, and doesn't believe his wife is his op. Like, she can actually do wonderful things for him in terms of how he looks, which can most likely make his relationships and his other parts of life better because he looks better, so he does better. It's just a fact. And not saying that those types of guys don't, not saying that those types of guys aren't smart on their own and can't get their own stuff together. But at the end of the day, having a woman by your side who's just trying to do the best, or I mean, put the best into you and really nurture you to be your best, you can't go wrong with it. You can't. There's a lot of weird guys that are filled with pride and filled with ego, and they just to, in a sense, admit or acknowledge that the woman in their life really helped them out. Is there another? Okay. Anyway, so that like all the comments that were negative on that black wife effect, they all came from people who just, or really men who have a real big issue with admitting that their wife or their woman did something nice for them. And it's very strange. It's very strange. Like, there are men out here that if they had it their way, women would get no appreciation, no type of acknowledgement, no type of validation, no nothing. And it's very sick. It's very sick. And for some reason, guys who do that at the same time believe that they're going to find the woman of their dreams, or they're going to get a woman to fall in love with them from having that type of mindset. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Okay, the next comment is easy. There's no husband material available. Men are finding out women don't tolerate abuse, control, dominance anymore. Women discovered standards because marriage doesn't benefit women. 45% of marriages fail, and 70% of wives file for divorce. Why? So I will address this last comment. Yes, we already know that most divorces are initiated by women, and it's just funny how all the men think it's because the women just want to sleep around and be in the streets and be alone and voluntarily sign up to be single moms and what have you. But that's just not the case at all. Most likely, women are leaving men that offer much of nothing in the relationship. They don't they don't even assist with anything, let alone do their own role of being a provider and a protector, or even assist the woman with hers at all. They put everything on the woman. They want the woman to also assist with providing and then do 100% of the childcare, 100% of the cleaning, and 100% of that stuff. That is stressful. That is not a happy marriage. And a woman's mind at that point thinks, You know what? Why am I dealing with this when I can do all the cooking and cleaning, but for myself, I don't have to deal with a man sitting around nagging, complaining, wanting me to perform like I'm some superstar adult entertainer, and then expecting me to be the maid and the nanny and all these things. It's just very it's just unrealistic for a lot of women in those types of marriages. And keep in mind, guys, statistically, that the divorce rate, women are divorcing the most from ideally 50-50 type of marriages. Marriages where marriages that last the longest in general, there's three factors that they have found. The first factor is the man is the breadwinner and or paying most of the bills. That's number one. Number two, there's a religion involved in the family. So whether that's Christianity, Muslim, whatever it is, spirit, simple, plain, simple spirituality, whatever it is, there's some kind of religious aspect. And the third, families are more conservative and traditional leaning. Those three factors, those three qualities that they were able to find in families is the reason why so many of those types of families don't divorce. All the other types of families where there's a 50-50, or the woman is the breadwinner or paying most of the bills, they most likely don't last. And this is no shade to women who make a lot of money and want to still marry. Of course, it's not every single, it's not every single marriage where the woman is the breadwinner divorces. But it is something to consider that if the woman is the breadwinner paying most of the bills, there is a higher chance that it's not going to last compared to the opposite when the man is the breadwinner and making most of the bills. So that's what the studies and the stats talk about. Um, a lot of it, a lot of the time coming from that aspect, marriage isn't benefiting women. I'm actually pro marriage. Okay. I'm actually for Black women in particular getting married. We are the least married group of people. And I am for Black women experiencing marriages with any kind of guy, right? But I would highly suggest that Black women get into traditional marriages where the man is the provider and you have your thing you're doing, whatever that is, but he is the one who is leading and he is the one who is providing. That is the type of marriage that will last the longest for a woman. That is the type of marriage where it is actually going to benefit you because you are working less and you are focusing more on things that come natural to you, such as nurturing, being there for your children and your family, participating in things you actually enjoy. And the man is also fulfilling his role, which men I notice complain about, but at the end of the day, they do take pride in being needed and providing. Whether they want to admit it or not, they just do. It's a prideful thing. I've heard other men tell me themselves that it is a proud moment knowing that they're able to provide for their family on their own. Men are proud of that. Women are the ones who lead because men will stay in horrible relationships to maintain access to her body and resources. Absolutely. I 100% agree with this. Because women hold the access to physical intimacy, it's not as easy for men to go out and get as it is for women. And so a man will stay in any type of relationship or marriage where he believes he, can't find that type of access so easily, and he will stay with that woman. But the woman is more inclined to lead because, again, we hold the access to physical intimacy. And number two, we're not spiked up with testosterone, so we can go without sleeping with somebody and be completely fine. And we're not going to base our decisions, our life decisions, on that the way that men will. So the next comments, corn, social media and dating apps are poisoning the dating pool. We're disillusioned and very tired. 100% agree. This is what I said earlier for the first group of single grown adult men out there as to why they're not able to even notice women that are wife material, because they're too busy watching videos, looking at images of women that are in certain industries, OnlyFans and things like that. Again, this is no shade to those women, but a lot of those women don't even want to get married. They're in this industry and that's what they want to be in, or at least they're not thinking about marriage like that. And there are women who are not in that industry who literally are trying to build themselves up to get married someday. And those women are being ignored, rejected, invalidated, um, and even, men are even saying that they don't exist, and that's not the truth. I love how she said in the end, we're disillusioned and very tired. That is a fact. There is a weird illusion that a lot of men have of women that just aren't true. It's not real and it's not true. It's all in their head and it's all just exploded into something that's unreal. I mean, the perspective of women. It's just exploded into something that's not real due to the social media and the graphic images of women out there. Next comment, they're not super single, they're just single. Y'all are just so used to situationships that you think regular single is a more advanced single. Being single should be normal, but y'all are so used to it being transactional that you treat it like a job and don't leave one relationship until you've secured the next. Because people are realizing that it's safer to stay single. So these are all the comments that I got from this post. Can someone explain what's going wrong in the universe that all the wifey material girls I know are super single? I mean, what else can be said? What else can be said? My response to this, again, two reasons. First reason, there are men who have a weird illusion of women that places us in the adult entertainment box, all of us, and that's all we are. I saw one guy say that 90% of women have an OnlyFans. That's absolutely delusional. So that's number one. Number two reason is there's just a group of guys that are full of themselves, get in their own way, completely also delusional, looking for the perfect woman. These men are grown and in their 30s. They do well for themselves. And because they do well for themselves, they think they deserve the most toppest of the tierest type of chick. Um, and that's just not the case. That's unrealistic. I mean, obviously, there's amazing, beautiful women out here, but it's not about it's not about that. It's not about the woman that's out here. It's about the woman that the man has in his head that just don't exist. And that is what's keeping him single and ignoring real life women that would make great partners, but they're just not going to perfectly meet every single expectation 24/7, 365 days a year. And a lot of men just, because of their ego and their pride, don't want to accept that. And that is why they will most likely remain single. Most likely, right? They don't spend enough time with women one on one. Therefore, they can't get along with one that well. They only get along best with the woman that's in his head instead of women in real life. So these are all some factors as to why all the wifey material girls are super single. Because you can't say it's them. Because if they're wifey material, then they're wifey material. And this lie that men will say, "Oh, if you're single, then you're not a wife." That's just not true. That's just not true. There are a lot of women who would make great wives, but the men are just not choosing them. They have a certain type of woman in their head that they're choosing over the women that exist in real life. And both people are suffering because those the women who are wife material are still single. And the man who claims he wants a wife, who claims he wants a family, he's single because he thinks he will be settling for the women that exist. Um, when instead he believes he will win once he finds the woman that's in his head, or once he meets a woman that he can change into the woman in his head. And that type of guy doesn't really even want a genuine relationship, which is why he doesn't have one. So So that is the gist of it. When I saw that post, I really just wanted to come on and talk about it a little bit. Also, give you guys just a couple of updates. I'll leave this video up, so make sure to like this video, comment down below your thoughts. I will be back again soon. I really missed you guys. Subscribe if you're a first time listener. I will talk to you ladies in the next one. Bye.